What's up, Sooner fans? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. If you're not part of what's going on, make sure you click the subscribe button, enable those notifications, like and comment. As we're here today to talk about a guy that OU needs to land, needs to find a way to get. And Michael Boganowski, son of a former K-State player. This guy is 6'2", 195, Junction City, Kansas. Guy that can play the linebacker safety position. Guy that OU needs to find a way to get. Let's talk about maybe where they're at and how they're looking for this.
Yeah, so Michael Boganowski, he's exactly the type of player that you need to land if you're Brent Venables. When you look at their safety room right now, it consists of Jaden Hardy committed, and then they have Michael Patterson McDonald. They're also recruiting Reggie Powers and Michael Boganowski. We'll go ahead and pull up Boganowski's film. He's essentially a hybrid safety linebacker, which in the Brent Venables defense, that classifies as a cheetah. So you bring in Boganowski, he can work at cheetah and at safety as well. Very talented player. It's really between Oklahoma and Kansas State right now. He's one of the few players left on Oklahoma's board that they're still recruiting. He's ranked number 398 nationally, 4-star. But this is a guy who's severely underrated. I mean, he should be way higher up on there. He comes in right away. If Oklahoma can pull this off, visited Kansas State a lot more than Oklahoma. He's visited most recently on September 9th on the second. Already it's really Oklahoma, Kansas State, as well, but this is shaping up to primarily with Oklahoma, Kansas State. This very athletic, has the type of skill set you would like to see if you're looking for a cheetah in the Brent Venables defense, but also would make for a really great safety. Brandon Hall is his primary recruit.
Yeah, and how do you feel they stand with him? I mean, if his dad's was a K-State guy with the Wildcat, that may be tough to get.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly is a point to make. And to me, I've just always had a hard time thinking that this kid would pick Kansas State over Oklahoma, just how well he'd fit into the Brent Venables defense. And, his dad was coached by BP. I think Oklahoma is the leader here with Michael Boganowski, and I would be surprised if it went any other way. And Boganowski, it's an interesting recruitment. It's kind of seemed like it's been back and forth. I mean, visit Kansas State, it'd be, Kansas State's now in the lead, and then visits Oklahoma, and it seems like Oklahoma's back in the lead. So right now I'm feeling pretty good about where Oklahoma's at. For me to be, okay, they're going to land Boganowski, I'd like to see the Sooners be able to get him on campus one more time. They can get him in for, let's say, the UCF game on the 21st. That's when, to me, I'd say, okay, Oklahoma is the clear-cut favorite to land Michael Boganowski. But we've talked about it with Brent Venables, his ability to develop talent, get competitive depth. BV has always kind of had a knack to find some of these underrated guys, and I think Boganowski is a prime example. This is his highlights from his first 4 games. He's actually injured right now. Not sure what the injury is, but he will miss a few games. But yeah, Boganowski, he's a very talented player, and I think Oklahoma needs to put all that they can together to land Michael Boganowski, and I think that would really make for an exceptional get on the back end of your defense.
Yeah, and you mentioned the relationship Brent Venables with coaching the dad. That's to be kind of slanted, leaned in OU's favor for sure. But yeah, the UCF seems like a possibility, and maybe you hate injuries, but maybe that's going to also allow for him to be able to make an OV, right? Is that? Has he OV'd?
Yes, okay, he took an OV in June. And so the question is that people want to say is, Reggie Powers, the recent decommit from Michigan State, everyone wants to look at him and say, okay, is that an offer to try to speed up Boganowski? Or let's just say, Reggie Powers commits to Oklahoma. Does that mean Oklahoma's not going to take Boganowski? I don't think that happens. I think if Oklahoma can get both of them, they will get both of them. And Michael Boganowski, he I think would be the first true cheetah that Brent Venables has ever landed. I mean, Samuel Omasio, freshman, comes in, plays it. He's been working there, but Michael Boganowski is a tailor-made cheetah for the Brent Venables defense. Has the size, has the frame, has the speed, has the athleticism. They have him, playing a little bit of a hybrid position at Junction City, which is where he's from. So, in an ideal world, you could land both Reggie Powers and Michael Boganowski, but you got to beat out K-State, and it does seem like Oklahoma will should likely beat out Kansas State for Boganowski. But this, to me, this is one I think Boganowski is very underrated, and I think if you can land him, that's one where the star, he might be a 4-star, but this is someone who can come in and play immediately and play a large role in the Brent Venables defense in the SEC. Which, again, to me, it seems like you'd want to go to the team that puts you in the best position in Oklahoma in the SEC versus Kansas State in the Big 12. To me, maybe I'm biased, but that's kind of how I see it.
Does he have a commitment date set, or do you know of any timetable when Boganowski wants to make a decision?
Yeah, he doesn't have a commitment date set right now. Personally, I think this is like a late October commitment date for Michael Boganowski. Or, I mean, you never know. We see it with the fellow DB, Eli Bowen, who just on a random date, he decides he's going to commit, no notice or nothing. I do know that, Boganowski right now doesn't have a date set. And do I think he will set a date in anytime soon? Maybe. But I think this is the type of guy who maybe he'll want to go see Norman one more time. Maybe he's going to want to go to Kansas State one more time. It's a tough decision just with the father being from Kansas State and him being from Kansas and in the proximity to home. Kansas State's closer. Father being from Kansas State. But I think Oklahoma will win this one out in the end. And to me, out of all the recruits remaining on the defensive side of the ball, this is obviously the one I think you need to land. Obviously, you need to land Devin Jordan, but Boganowski, I think, has the highest upside. I honestly, to me, outside of anyone on the defensive line, I think Michael Boganowski has the second highest, if not the highest upside in the back seven of Oklahoma's recruiting class this year. To me, he looks like someone who could really be a hidden gem.
Yeah, and Venables seems to have a knack for talent and recruiting guys, maybe sometimes who are underrated. So it's going to be interesting as October gets here, and it's already here and it finishes up, who OU can close the deal on in some of these recruits. There's some other guys. You mentioned Powers earlier. Some of
Devin
the commits
Jordan.
that got in there are doing special things. Danny Okoye last week ran a Wildcat. So, yeah, exciting times for OU, and it's exciting times. You got OU Texas this week, but Boganowski would be a massive get for BV and staff. And let's, 3 weeks from now, we're doing a commitment video where Boganowski has committed to the University of Oklahoma. So, yeah, if you are not part of what's happening here at the Sooner Surge, get a part of it. Get on board. Give us 4-star, 5-star maybe, or whatever you want to give us, but give us some comments and some likes. We appreciate you guys. And again, big week. It's about 9 o'clock on a Monday or whatever it is, and Texas still sucks. Till next time, Boomer.